trooper Hook upon his horse is a mighty wondrous thing. As the cavalry comes a-charging and the Indian arrows sing, rawhide strong trooper Hook knew the West like a book. Soldier true, his fight never through, never through. The mountains suss their lonely peaks against the copper sky. The dusty earth resounded as the trooper he rode by. Shining spurs, army rig, makes a man feel big. Give me earth, give me sky, let me live, let me die as a trooper.
According to plan, we attacked the village at noon. Orders to take Nanchez alive at any cost were carried out. Most of his braves were killed or taken prisoner. A handful escaped. Families were rounded up. The village burned. Lieutenant Giroux led the first charge. He was overpowered. He and his men were killed in action. No. Make that executed. March back to the fort will be slow because of the number of prisoners taken. That's about it.
How you want to sign, General?
Sergeant Clovis Hook.
Yes, sir.
Never mind the sir.
Hey, Sergeant. Time for you and me to get something off my chest. That's all the lousy water we got.
Stand easy, soldier.
Where does it say we gotta die of thirst to keep the dead from putrefying?
You've got your orders.
I also got a ration of water coming, and I'm taking it.
Ryan, you've already cost yourself a 10-day tour on latrine duty. One swallow and I'll make it your life's work. Don't worry, mister. If you die of thirst, I'll put you in for corporal.
Sergeant! Over here!
Up here, Sergeant.
She's white. White, Sergeant.
Well, I declare.
I'm Sergeant Hook, ma'am.
She keeps not saying nothing.
Oh, give her time. But you got no idea what she must have been going through?
It's gonna be all right now, ma'am. You just don't worry about a thing. Nanchez is the boy's father.
Hey, wait a minute. You don't think that you...
The boy, man. He yours?
You and Natchez? You mean you let yourself whelp that butcher's kid?
You ain't no white woman. No more you ain't.
Just say in your dispatch we're bringing back a white woman.
Begging the sergeant's pardon, but don't you reckon folks back at the post ought to know that they'll be rolling out the carpet for Nanchez's squaw and the red-skinned mongrel?
Just say the woman is the mother of Nanchez's child.
That must be the one.
Whitaker!
Take him to the guardhouse.
Strange men, Sergeant. Making such a point of honorable surrender for the worst butcher in the territory. Imler. Mary Imler. Cora Sutcliffe.
I think you've hit it, sir.
Cora Sutcliffe. Is that you? This report says you're on your way to join your husband when the wagon train was attacked by a band of Chiricahuas. You were the only one taken alive. This is devilish, Sergeant. I can't even be sure that this woman's in her right mind. Hasn't she said one word since you found her?
Not a word, sir.
There's nothing here to indicate where your husband might be now, ma'am. I'll start an inquiry and see if we can't locate him. We'll be sending Nanchez and his people to the reservation at San Carlos in a few days. The boy can go with them.
I wouldn't count on Nanchez going to San Carlos, sir.
What?
I know him. He won't. He thinks the place is a pest hole.
A few days on the platform will change his mind. Am I to understand you intend to keep this boy? What about your husband, ma'am? You'll be wishing this child on him, too. Doesn't she realize she's playing the fool?
He's her son, sir.
But he's... Oh, well, it's not our affair.
Where do you want Mrs. Sutcliffe to stay, sir?
Oh, put her in the empty quarters along Suds Row.
Yes, sir. You'll be fine there, ma'am. You'll be all to yourself.
Adam, what would your feelings be if I were in her place?
That doesn't even deserve an answer.
Doesn't it?
You'd have killed yourself before you let it happen to you.
I wonder.
He can come down any time he says the word, Sergeant.
I know.
All he has to do is promise to take his people to San Carlos and stay there.
He won't.
I saw you untie his bonds. You respect him, don't you?
He's a cruel, treacherous man, sir.
Well?
He doesn't particularly care for me either. He fights his way, I fight mine.
Putting yourself on his level?
We're just a couple of dogs haggling over the same bone. Only it happens to be his bone.
Miguel! 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 Miguel!
Leave him to me, Whitaker.
You can have him, Sergeant.
Boy goes with his mother, Nanchez. That's the way it has to be.
Who knows what has to be?
Please, Mrs. Sutcliffe, I've brought you a dress. Won't you let me in? Please accept it. I'll put it down by the door.
Delta. Bahoja.
Good evening, Sergeant.
Thank you, sir.
Mrs. Sutcliffe, we've located her husband.
I should be glad to hear that, Colonel.
Fred Sutcliffe. The name's right and everything else checks. got some kind of a ranch outside San Miguel, near Tucson. I dare say you'll run into a few complications,
I dare say, sir.
and I know you won't let us down.
When do we start, sir?
You'll draw expense money and be on your way before Reveille. Take one of the men along as escort as far as the settlement where you can get the stage.
Yes, sir.
That's all.
Hey, Sergeant! We gotta do something about the chief right now.
You should be grateful I'm letting you make this trip. Man's on latrine duty too long, he can turn real bitter.
All right, that did it. I'm gonna tie you down my belt.
Oh, kids don't need tying.
Hey, Sergeant. How many years you gotta be married before you learn to handle a kid like that?
You talk too much, soldier.
You know who she be, don't you? The one we've been hearing about. The one Nanchez had.
You look like a thirsty jackass sniffing out a rain barrel.
I'm human.
Grab yourself a drink and get back to the fort.
Yes, sir.
And Ryan, don't forget you have to take these horses back.
Thanks.
Howdy, gentlemen. Sit down, man. Now, have you? Yeah, do you think you could rustle up some cheese and crackers for him? I'd be obliged.
I guess we can manage that, Sergeant.
I'm going across the street to see about the stage fares and get my gear aboard. Won't be a minute. Just rest yourselves.
This ought to be mighty interesting. You aim to waste good victuals fattening up Nanchez's kid, Mr. Bean?
Take it easy, Keach. No trouble, huh?
I'm right about him belonging to that Indian scum, ain't I? Well, ain't I? I thought so. Maybe you liked having him, but you don't have to come flaunting him around decent white women.
Take your hands off my son! Oh,
Put that down.
animals! All of you! Animals! If one of you so much as touches my boy, I'll kill you!
Well, gentlemen. This young fella here needs some traveling clothes.
Because you're wearing that uniform don't mean we gotta help Indian leavings.
Maybe some of you get out and scrounge up something for the boy to wear. Must be some small kids around this place. Get out. Thank you. Those were the first words I've heard out of you, man. Mighty powerful sentiments, but they sounded real good.
I don't want to cause you any trouble.
Trouble? No trouble. Thank you, ma'am.
Could you use a hat, Sergeant?
Well, thanks, but boys don't need hats only in winter.
Sergeant. Nearly time for Mr. Truth to show up. You better be inside that coach before he gets there.
Thank you, ma'am. Gentlemen.
All right, folks, you're traveling with a glory rider who makes fighting wages and don't wait for nobody. I may not be a colt anymore, but ain't lost none of my pitch. I'm half Mustang and half alligator. Now get going, you critters. Hurroo! Hurroo!
Wild of an Apache Indian chief, trooper's duty to restore her to her husband bowed with grief, but she would not part with the child of a heart. Scorn she knew, fear and danger too, danger too.
The Indian. He treat you all right?
He beat me once. Maybe it was right I wouldn't work. It was the squaws made me wish I were dead.
Figured that.
But they stopped when I became one of them. Looked like them. Smelled like them.
Well?
I guess it looks like what it is, don't it? When I hit that rock, me and the wagon stopped, but the horse didn't. How much to take me to the next town?
$1, 2 bits. Now get in fast. You made me lose half a minute already.
Yo! Yo! Windmills is my line. Eclipse Windmills from Batavia, Illinois. I sell them. You three together?
Yes.
Oh, your wife then, eh?
No.
Pardon me, lady. Them moccasins? You find them more comfortable than shoes? Is that the fashion of these parts? I mean your hair. Cut 'em mighty short, looks to me. Any reason for it?
Lice.
She joking me, huh? Pulling my leg.
Dust's pretty bad out here. So's the flies this time of year. Best keep your mouth closed.
What's that? Hey, where'd you pick up that kid anyway?
Mr. Trout! Whoa there! Oh, I got me a schedule to meet. What's the trouble?
Our friend here wants to ride up on the box with you. A real fine view up there, healthy.
Now, wait a minute. Where did you get the idea that I was...
Healthy.
I reckon he's right. Come along, mister. You can watch me snap off rattlerheads.
What's he mean doing this to me?
Ain't what he's likely to do I'd be worried about, mister. It's her.
What are you talking about?
That's Nanchez's woman down there. You heard of Nanchez.
The Apache?
You get her riled up and she's likely to cut your heart out with a dull knife. From the looks of you, you're bleeding up to fill a bog hole.
You know something,
Quito.
Quito? With your command of language, you've got all the makings of a sergeant.
And it's right on schedule.
Thank you, Mr. Trude.
Sorry, Sergeant, but the dining room's filled up.
We're not hungry.
Been bucking the tiger again, eh, cowboy? See you lost your horse.
I swear a blackjack dealer can see both sides of them cards.
And you ain't hooking no more ride with me just on the strength of your jawbone, son.
I sure wish you'd talk gentle, Mr. Trude. I'm hung over so far, I'm carrying a hump on my back.
That's what a fool boy gets for coyoting around without a man's constitution.
Quito. Vaya. Luna, Quito. Vaya.
Good?
Clear, cold water. Like a stream back home.
Boy seems to like the water, too.
Yes.
You learn how to swim yet?
No.
Sorry about Wilson.
It doesn't matter.
Cook in Wilson's kitchen used to be a mess sergeant. Good thing nobody's hungry.
Why don't you ask me?
Ask you what?
How I felt when he put his hands on me. Was it like any other man?
That's none of my business.
That's not true. Every man who looks at me makes it his business.
I guess you're right.
They can't help it. They hate the Indian for what they themselves might have done, but they hate me even more.
I don't hate you.
That's the difference. That's why I can talk to you this way.
Talking helps.
I got used to being his squaw. It was just one of those things I had to learn and accept in order to survive. But just now, down there in the cold, clear water, watching my son listening to him laugh. That one moment was worth all those years. Can you understand wanting so much to live?
I guess I got good reason to understand real well, ma'am. Come. Akko. Don't cut yourself. Wakish. There was once I wanted to live so bad, I turned myself into a dog. For a whole month, I was a dog. You ever heard of Andersonville? Rebs called it a prison camp. The devil himself couldn't have thought of a worse crawl in hell. All around, men dying of scurvy and dysentery. Mush and sick bacon, all there was to eat, and never enough of that. Everything putrid, inside and out. Look, maybe you don't want to hear any more of this.
You said talking helps.
There was a man dying of lung fever, just waiting to die, out of his head most of the time. He happened to love dogs, and I found if I barked once or twice, he'd give me some of his rations. That's how it started. Then I used to wake up in the morning planning on being a dog. Even got down on my hands and knees to put on a good show. For a whole month, I was a dog. Poor fellow died thinking I was one. But I lived. All depends on how hard you want to live, I guess. We better get moving, ma'am.
Tito.
Get flying and let me see your heels.
Evening, man. You, General?
Evening.
You too, bub.
Sorry to disappoint you, Mr. True, but you got the pleasure of my company again.
There's some topic of genteel conversation you folks would like to worry some?
No.
Maybe you'll pardon me. I just put in a couple of rough days for a sun-fed wrangler. Got me coming and going. If I start sliding, General, just raise a hoof and give me a shove, will you?
Saying back there about the kind of thoughts men can't help getting into their minds.
Yes.
That's different when the man's your husband.
You think I'm afraid to face him, don't you?
No. I just don't want you to fret about it.
My husband is good. He's kind.
Sure he is.
We were married 9 years. We never did have any children.
It's too bad.
But Fred always said I was all he ever needed. Fred always wanted a boy. Once he gets used to the idea and everything, he won't be able to help loving Keith. So you see, I really haven't anything to fret about.
That's fine, then.
You must miss your family very much. How can you stay away from them so long?
Soldiering's the only thing I know.
Must be awfully lonely for you.
Oh, great and strong a man was he, and his heart within was kind. He aimed to give them peace and rest. No blame was in his mind. Fair and square, trooper Hook, comfort gave which they took, and she knew this friend would take them through.
Sitting like that all night? Must be stiff as a branding iron.
Morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Sure see the Indian strain in him, all right. You can't help that, can you?
No, he can't.
Oh!
Quito.
Looks like you don't fancy me much as a nursemaid.
Looks like there's some kind of a town up ahead.
Just a change station. Church and telegraph and a couple of dobies.
That's the end of the line for me.
Something there to hold you, cowboy?
Yeah, Kincaid Ranch. It's the biggest spread in these here parts. They ought to be peeling broncs about now. The foreman there knows I insist saddle. All I gotta do is to talk him into taking me on.
Wasn't expecting you, Mr. Trude. Hadn't they got you driving clean through to Tucson?
Short-handed.
Ah, you must be so worn out.
Just catching my second breath, Junior, but you better change these poor weakling horses.
Got 3 passengers for you.
And there's plenty of room.
One of them upshot Spanish ladies and her granddaughter. The girl's kind of refined, so they laid off from the last days to rest up. And the rancher come down from Fort Apache. An immigrant wagon dropped him off.
You better change them horses, Junior.
Okay.
You can let me have that saddle, son, unless you got the money for your fare.
Well, I'm busted, and you know it, Mr. Trude. Besides, don't I always pay you when I get some cash?
Can't hear you. I'm deafer than a woodpecker in a hailstorm. Besides, the company's on my tail for being so danged easygoing.
Well, you get this straight, you old buzzer. Now, you ain't leaving me here naked without my saddle. Oh, woo-rah-roo.
Stand easy, cowboy. Something on the seat in here. Must have dropped out of your pocket.
Guess you've been in some tight spots yourself, huh?
When I was a young squirt with more energy than brains.
Late ain't hurting you none, General. Is this what you've been talking about, Mr. Trude?
That's something like it, Sonny.
He's nice.
Yeah. A man raises a son like that, he can figure he's done something with his life.
But you have children.
Oh, yeah, but they're girls, 2 of them. I was thinking about boys.
Oh.
You got 15 minutes till breakfast, folks.
Hey, what kind of a womanly kitty you got there, Mr. Trude?
Passengers. The old man here will be right in to get your victuals.
Old man?
Con su permiso, senor. Por favor. It's too darn heavy for a lady like you to be toting.
Gracias.
Madame, sabe Americana, senorita?
I understand English perfectly, young man.
Now, if I could only speak it perfect, we'd get along just fine.
The name is Travers. Charlie Travers, young man.
Yes, sir. You just follow me.
Just look at what you got out there, Sergeant. Nothing. Plenty of nothing, huh? No end to it. But that is just how I got my start. On nothing. Yes, sir. Trailed more than 1,000 head of cattle from Fort Griffin clear up to Cheyenne. Now, how did I get hold of that many longhorns, you're asking, Sat in on a poker game with a month's wages in my pocket and bluffed my way into a pile big enough to choke a horse. Yeah, I ought to be satisfied to stop right there, you're thinking. Oh, no, that's just the beginning. Yes, sir, I took all of that hard cash and every cent of credit I could wrangle, and I put me an outfit on the trail. Oh, that ain't no lie. Yeah, I bought my stock. Well.
What's eating you? Gotta get this message over the ranches. Just came over the telegraph. Nanchez.
Yeah, what about it?
Some of his braves broke in out of Fort Whitney 2 nights ago. They was last spotted over near Lordsburg. Now there's no telling where they're at.
I'm borrowing one of your horses,
You
friend.
what?
Don't worry about it. I'll leave it at the station yard at San Miguel.
Now, see here, you can't do that. You...
to you.
Well?
Over here. Nanchez busted out. He's on the loose with some of his bucks.
I knew we had company. I didn't know it was that fancy.
Guess the first thing come to his mind was getting the little fellow back. Indians are like that about their boy kids.
Thanks, cowboy. Now I better get rolling.
Yeah, we'd better. Con su permiso, amigo, if I know what I mean.
Yeah.
Besides, I owe you $2 worth of something.
All right, Mr. Trude. You've been doing a lot of bragging. Now let's see you lean forward and really punch the breeze.
Just a minute, soldier. You trying to tell me how to run this stage line?
Not me. Nanchez.
Oh. Well, you got the right man up here. You just tell him to sit tight, because we ain't likely to touch ground again till we hit Tucson.
What's this about Nanchez? Now, look here. Look here, you're the Army. You got to figure something to do. I'm carrying every cent I got in the world right here in this money belt.
Shut up. It's only right to tell you the fix we're in. You know all about Nanchez, but the thing you don't know is that we've got something here he wants back more than anything in the world.
What are you talking about?
The boy. He's his son.
Why haven't they attacked before, Sergeant?
They'll do that when it's convenient for them. If they don't jump us before dark, we've got the rest of the night to get as close to Tucson as we can. They're superstitious about fighting after the sun goes down. Just hold tight. We'll start worrying hard when it counts. Inside, cowboy, and keep your eyes open.
They rode the stage to bring
All
it
right, Mr.
back.
Trude.
The driver seated up high. He snapped his great long snaky whip against the wind-torn sky. Oh, he shouted "Aroo!" as he drove the stage on through. But the Indian followed too, and within the coach they knew more true danger.
Everybody want peace?
I think so, Sergeant.
Hang on, Peter.
Somebody take hold of these fools' jug-headed horses and settle them down.
Yeah. Travis, give me a hand.
Right.
Easy, boys.
How does it look, Mr. Trude?
Cut a key sheared, kingpin bent.
Gonna be fixed?
All I can do is try. Banging on either fix it or bust it complete.
Look.
He wants a parlay.
Totadana.
Totadana.
All right. What was the proposition? Why did you turn it down?
Nanchez says he'll let us go if I'll turn over the boy.
What's the matter with that?
My orders are to deliver Mrs. Sutcliffe and the boy to her husband.
That kid is more Indian than white. It won't hurt him none to be with his own kind. Look, for the first time, I've got enough money to make something out of my life. You think I'm going to chunk that all away just on account of him? How about you, cowboy? You seen half the things you want to see? Hmm? You've been with all the pretty women you ever dreamed about? You ready to die?
I remember some mornings when it didn't seem like such a bad idea.
You, Mrs. Sandoval, isn't your granddaughter worth more than some half-breed kid?
I love my granddaughter, if that is what you mean.
Your grandma raised you up in a convent in Santa Fe to make you into a fine lady. And now she's taking you back to marry a rich man. Everything is waiting for you on a silver platter. You're going to lose all that just because she doesn't know what she's going to do?
Stop it. Leave her alone.
We better get a fire started. Blows up real cold here after the sun goes down.
Is there not something I can do? Perhaps hold the lantern. You must be tired.
I ain't tired. Maybe if we talk a little, you wouldn't be so skittery. Hey, Travers? Travers, I'd be much obliged if you'd hold this lantern for a spell. Thanks. You know that tune I was whistling? It's all about a girl named Consuelita and a fellow who's thirsting something fierce for a little sip of wine.
She hasn't even got a glass or anything else into which to pour it.
You know it.
Well, then she says, "Lass, what shall I do? Quench your thirst, I have naught to offer but my lips."
You didn't pick that up in no convent.
It's an old Spanish song.
Spanish folks, they kind of put a lot of store in things being good and old, don't they? I mean, well, they're terrible set in their ways. Like this here idea of hiding a girl away and then marrying her off to some fellow she hardly even knows.
My grandmother will receive him and say, "Here is she whom you were promised."
Their idea wasn't worth much even when it was new.
He's never going to get that kingpin fixed in time to do us any good. And they know that, too. Those aren't coyotes we've been hearing. That's Nanchez and his bucks having their fun. Just waiting for daylight to make us wish.
Hold it. Shackles. They're coming off.
You gotta do something.
Go someplace and sit down.
Talk to her. Make her understand what she's doing.
I said sit down.
Easy, cowboy. Easy. Strike off!
Not so good, Mr. Trude.
I just have to keep trying. Hope I don't run out of cussing material from the good book.
I got $15,000. Money belt right here. You can have half of it.
Leave me alone.
You got a husband waiting for you. Think of what you and him could do with all that money.
Go away.
You'd be set for life. It'd even make him forget you ever spawned Natchez, kid. All you gotta do is tell the sergeant you want to give the boy back to his father.
You think I'd do that for money?
I'll give you all of it. Just let me keep a couple of thousand. What else do you want?
I don't want your money. I don't want anything from anybody. Don't follow me. Just don't follow me.
Miss Sutton!
Where do you think you're going?
I don't know and I don't care. I'll run till I drop. If Nanchez finds me, he'll have to kill me before he takes my son.
If you do any running, it'll be by yourself. Coming with me, boy. Vito. Hako. Another parley. Seems he did some thinking last night, too.
Mr. Travers! Come back here!
Nanchez, you and me gotta talk. Don't listen to those others. Just listen to me, Nanchez. I stood up against Hook. Yeah? I told him that the kid belonged to you. I was on your side. That's the Lord's truth. Look here. Here. Money. That's money. Dinero. $15,000. Yeah. That's yours. All you gotta do is let us go. Huh? You can buy guns, ammunition. You can buy all the whiskey you can drink. Look at me. You know... Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Don't kill me.
Shoot that thing, cowboy, and you'll have those bucks swarming all over us.
You think a parley's gonna change that?
Get down.
What are you going to do?
Take him up on the rock. I'll be right with you.
No, no. No. Hey, no. No.
Put your gun to the boy's head.
Do what?
When I drop my right arm, pull the trigger.
Maybe this is your war, soldier, but I don't happen to be in the Army.
I know I'm asking an awful lot of you, but do as I tell you.
The trooper walked to meet the chief with firm and steady tread. Beside the coach they watched the scene in wonder and fear and dread. Life or death, what would be? Return the child and set them free, or defy the chief. Could there be another king? There problem oh so grim. Each parent had a natural right to deny it was a sin, but trooper's duty it was plain, and so he chased a desperate game. Would the chief give up his claim, or put a bullet through the brain of his child?
My people have long called you Face of Stone. They were wrong. Your name should be Heart of Stone.
I do what must be done.
You are more Indian than you know.
I've taught myself to think like my enemy.
I am familiar with your mind. You will not let the blood of my son make you soft.
You leave me no choice.
And you think you have left me with no choice.
Maybe you're more white than you know. You love your son too much to see him killed.
With your people, he would be like a bat. Neither a bird nor a mouse. A thing of scorn.
Let him go with his mother, and I pledge you will have a chance to walk with pride and honor.
You cannot speak for your people. You cannot stand against them. Your pledge is worthless.
At least the boy will live.
I do not choose such a life for my son.
Then I have no more to say.
Wait. Perhaps our talk has not fallen to the ground. I do not accept your pledge. But today you cast your shadow over me and I must let you go. Tomorrow's sun may make my shadow longer. You will remember this. You will have it in your thoughts day after day.
Sergeant, would you do me the goodness to answer a question?
If I can.
Now that we are all safe, it may seem an impertinence.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you have ordered the boy killed?
Yes, if I had to.
Then you do believe one has his duty?
Duty can mean a lot of things.
Oh?
Mostly it means looking things square in the face, and maybe forgetting the regulations, the rules.
Very interesting, Sergeant. Gracias.
Why are we so solemn? We should be happy. Most happy for you, Mrs. Sutcliffe. Your husband will be waiting for you in San Miguel, and your whole life will have a new beginning.
Sure, Mrs. Sutcliffe. Like the natives say, muy verdad.
Si es verdad.
She is verdad. Senora? Senorita?
All aboard, folks. We'll have you in Tucson for supper. The Palace Hotel. You can sit in line near flues with turtle soup, fried chicken, dingleberries, real bacon, powder bread, and all the pie with tart flubber meringue you can eat. You put me off my schedule, Sergeant. But you and the ladies welcome to ride with me anytime. Be good to you, Ma, son. Real good. Found these on the seat, Sergeant. Must have fell out of your pocket.
Thanks.
Just want to say thank you. I think maybe I might have done some growing up on this trip.
I don't even know your name. Please, I'd like to remember it.
Jeff Bennett, man.
Jeff Bennett. Thank you, Jeff.
And good luck, General. You too, bub.
If you got on your mind what I'm thinking, the senorita, you're gonna be needing all the luck.
Oh, faint heart never filled a flush. Keen sabe.
Yeah. Who knows?
I don't suppose Fred knew just what stage we'd be on. Besides, we got in so late.
My wife doesn't always meet me when I go home on furlough. I'll go to the livery, hire buckboard.
Sergeant, you're coming with me, please?
You were right to save the dress till now. Oh, and worry. It'll grow back. You're afraid?
They didn't tell Fred about Quito.
I see.
Colonel Weaver asked me if I wanted him to know, but I thought it would be better if I were there when he finds out.
Yeah. Better.
I was hoping you'd be waiting when the stage got in.
I've been kind of mixed up, Cora. So much to think about. The Indian boy.
Fred, all the way here, I've been trying to think of a way to tell you.
Tell me what, Cora?
He's mine, Fred. He's my child.
I heard about it, but I wouldn't believe it.
I know how hard it is for you to accept this all at once.
You and that Indian Nanchez? I just don't know why you had to bring the boy with you.
He's my child, Fred. I couldn't live without him.
And you expect me to live with him? Well, how do you think I feel when I look at him? What about other people? What do I tell them? How do I even face him? You should have left him with his own kind, Cora.
His own kind is me. He's mine. Oh, Fred, I do understand how you feel, but can't we just try?
Excuse me, Mr. Sutliff. What is it? What's the matter?
My horse threw a shoe. I'd like to fix it before dark. I can't find the hoof knife. How long were you married when it happened?
"9 years. We lived in Pennsylvania. I came out here first and homesteaded, and I sent for her. She never got here.
All those years, no child.
Just didn't happen. So that's the way you're looking at it. Like I ought to be grateful to have any kind of son, even one by a dirty Indian butcher?
Well, that's one way of looking at it.
Well, what other way is there?
The boy gave her reason to live, and she's lived through an awful lot.
Doesn't it count what I went through? What I'll have to go through from now on?
I didn't say it was going to be easy.
First thinking she was dead, then living this lonely, miserable life, and then she has to come home with this. I don't want to talk anymore.
Boy had his supper?
Put a blanket on the floor for him to sleep on. Happy homecoming. No, you're pretty lucky. You don't have to think things out. You just obey orders. Look, Cora, you don't want to do this thing to me.
I don't want to hurt you, but... well, can't we just try? He's such a little boy.
He's not mine, Cora.
Oh, Fred.
I kept remembering once we had a good life. I was ready to forgive you about the Indian.
Forgive me?
But you had to go and bring his...
Forgive me?
kind of a man do you think I am?
She has no one else to turn to, Mr. Sutcliffe.
Any reason for you to be nosing in, soldier? Well, is there?
No. I guess my job here is done.
Where are you going?
Without my son, I have no place here.
Yes, you have. Your place is here, if you want it. If you really want it.
I'm sorry, Fred.
I've got to get away from here.
I'm her husband. She belongs to me.
She doesn't belong to anyone now but the boy.
Cora?
Forgive me for coming back, for putting you through all this.
You're not going to take her. You can take the boy, but not her.
Is this how you're going to solve it, Mr. Sutcliffe? Shoot me and force her to stay? Then what do you do about the boy? Shoot him too?
Get in that wagon and leave by yourself, soldier.
You're not the kind of a man who'd...
That's Nanchez. Jump on! Jump on! Got Nanchez.
With their leader gone, they're through. Good boy. Takes things the Indian way without yapping.
I have relatives back east. I could go there.
Is that what you want?
No.
I'm 47. Nearly 30 of that in the Army makes a man rough. Got 4 months till the end of my last hitch. You could get a room in the settlement near the fort. 4 months, not such a long spell.
What about your family?
Nobody's likely to get hurt there.
Oh?
Man gets defensive. Everybody in the fort trying to marry him off. If you invent a family and stick to it, it makes it a lot easier for everybody.
I think I always knew.
You did?
Mahosia!
You gotta learn to speak English.